Country at kingscountry.net. We're cruising into the 11 o'clock hour of the Jim King of the Radio Show. Got that tune from Jelly Roll coming up, Son of a Sinner. Love that one. Got His Royal Highness, the late, great Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn. Two late greats coming up in just a few. And coming up in the next break, we're going to talk to a cat named Mark Powell, really making a name for himself in Texas country music. Had a number of number one hits on Texas country, Texas regional radio chart. Mark Powell from the Abilene area. He's a rancher, lives on a sprawling ranch out there. We're going to zoom off to West Texas in just a bit. Stay with us.
This same old outdated, dirt road educated, slightly undomesticated me, king of the road.
Well, I love your new video, Undomesticated Me. Tell us about this. Did you write the song?
Yeah. You know, I had the idea a long time ago, and then I went down to Houston, and then I was with a guy named Jesse Robb Jr., and we kicked that around a little bit. We kind of got halfway finished, and then my friend Trent Willman came to my cabin up here, and then we ended up we went ahead and finished it. And I love the way it ended up. We love the ranching aspect. We've been doing that for 20 years or so for ourselves. And one time a year, we kick the animals to the corner and then bring in a whole bunch of people and have outlaws and legends. So that's been just one of those fluky deals that, started super by accident. And now we've got 32,000 people that show up, and it's nutty. But we just kind of go with what life hands you,
Here comes Mark Powell with Undomesticated Me as our King's Country music clip of the week from Nashville. King's Country at kingscountry.net. That's Clay Walker working on me. I'm Jim King of the Radio, working on second hour of the Jim King of the Radio Show. TGIF edition. Going to pay a couple of bills. Come right back at you with Charlie Pride right after these.
Listen for King of the Road.
King of the Road. The king hopped on the king. The king fell off of the chair. Now the king got in the chair, and then he bounced off the chair into the king's house. King of the Road.
Middays with Jim King.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. That's the song that put that guy on the map. Wade Hayes, old enough to know better. Think back in about 1992, and that explains why I'm having a fabulous flashback right here in the studio.
King of the road.
Backstage in Houston, Texas with country legend Wade Hayes.
Monday morning I wake up with a hammer in my hand. The walls swing doing something that maybe I don't understand. I don't know how I got to work, but I sure go out there. I'm old enough to go better, but I'm still too young to care.
Old Enough to Know Better was Wade Hayes' first national release, and it went straight to number one.
That was amazing. That is a surreal time in my life. Looking back, it just doesn't even seem real. And the minute that I landed in Nashville, my life got better. I immediately got a job playing lead guitar for Johnny Lee. Cool. And that was my very first star gig. And then shortly after that, I got a record deal, and it's been just great ever since.
Old Enough to Know Better came out in 94?
Yes, it came out the tail end of 94. It went number one in 95.
I got just enough left to get dressed up and head back to town. Boss says, son, having all that fun won't get you anywhere. I'm old enough to know better, but I'm still too young to care.
This concludes our special broadcast. We now return to Nothing Special.
King's Country, kingscountry.net. I love this time of year in Southeast Texas. Football is in the air. My team, Hook 'em Horns, my alma mater, UT, takes on Oklahoma this weekend. Unfortunately, we'll be driving to a wedding with my fiancée, Suzanne Simmons. I've never said that. This is the first time I've said that on the radio. Yes, we got engaged last week, Suzanne Simmons and I. She'll be decorating for the first big holiday, and I'm talking about Halloween. She goes all out for Halloween, especially Christmas, too. All through the fall. I love this time of year, like I said. So, happy Halloween in advance.
Here are some Halloween decorating tips. Instead of buying fake cobwebs, use the real ones covering your exercise equipment. The giant skeleton in your yard is a fun way to say trespassers beware. It also says you spend way too much money on garbage at Home Depot. Make sure your sound effects include moans, shrieks, and cries for help, just like the other noises old people make when they fall in the shower. Remember, all of these tips are pointless if you're just serving stupid candy like candy corn or circus peanuts or Whoppers, because trick-or-treaters will egg and toilet paper your house. Ask me for more Halloween decorating tips.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. Since I've been involved in country music on radio and TV for so many years, I've met a lot of country stars. One thing that's always struck me is how approachable most of them are. Hadn't run into any rude ones, really. So it makes you think that it's a real friendly family, the country music business. Well, Brooks and Dunn were talking to Theo Vaughn the other day, and Ronnie Dunn started talking about how competitive the country music industry really is. It isn't as friendly as everyone makes it seem.
As friendly as they say that you know, the world of country music is, it's so darn competitive. You know, everybody hates one another. They act like they don't on TV. Big time competitive. One of my favorite things is Dolly Parton in an interview years and years ago. They were talking about somebody and being. She just goes, "Oh, honey, there's room for everybody." No, there's not. Yeah. You want to get down to it? No, there's not.
King's Country at kingscountry.net, coming to you from King of the Road Productions in Beaumont, Texas, where country is still king on radio and television. Yeah, it's my time to shine on the boob tube. Jim King of the TV and radio with you. Don't miss the show. It's already aired once on the CW and been previewed on KFDM Channel 6 News at Noon. It's our Powell and Williams episode featuring Mark Powell and Zane Williams. They're both Texas country cats. Here's a little sample of the show with Zane.
Something else about Texans, they're very generous. That's a big part of what we're doing here tonight. Supporting the very worthy cause. So here's to the folks that do the dirty, sweaty, nasty jobs that make the world go round, and that includes our veterans. Called Hands of a Working Man. The hands of a working man built this town. Cleared this timber and plowed this ground. Raised those cattle in the sun and snow. Damn that river and dug that coal. It's a debt we owe to the hands of a working man. Got my granddad had it from my daddy goes too. Hard from the sun up to the sundown. They get in the tall, they can tear it all down. They got to know how heavy you got the money. Treat your heart as a hammer and you take a fight. But they'd have to hold a pretty girl tight behind. Dirty, strong as hands of a working man.
Had 4 number 1 songs on the Texas Country Chart. Last album's called Bringing Back Country. Working on some new stuff always, I'm sure.
I am, yes. I'm very excited about some of the new songs I've got going and some of the new band members we've got. So it's a work in progress. I'm about to turn 40, and so I like to remind myself that Willie Nelson made his Redheaded Stranger album when he was 40. Keep that in mind as my goal, to keep getting better and keep getting even closer to the authentic music that I want to be making, you know. And it's a process sometimes to learn how to do that, especially when you didn't grow up in a musical household like I did not.
Keep up the great work. Thanks for your time, Zane Williams.
Thank you, Jim.
You rule, man.
Hey, thanks, brother. King of the road. King of the road,
Like
right
that.
here.
You got a hat kind of like, almost like the race car driver,
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty, yeah. I've actually interviewed him once or twice.
Nice. Yeah.
He's got a few more feathers, but that's cool, man. That's traditional.
Yeah, I like it.
Say all the way they are, working hard from the sun up to the sundown. They can build it tall, they can tear it on down. They got to know how. If you got the money, hit your heart as a hammer in the king of fight. But they rather hold a pretty girl tight tonight. Dirty, rough and dirty, strong and sturdy. Double working man.
Thank you very much.
King of the road.
Here comes this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback.
Great thing you're doing here for your grandson and his memory, Adam. Of course, you were involved with NASCAR for so many years. With the technology today, has it become a safer sport? Because it is a dangerous sport, but has it become safer today?
It's a lot safer from that standpoint. I don't know, racing's any better. The speed's irrelevant in a race. It's how close each vehicle runs close to the other. So sometimes we have good races, sometimes we don't, but that's always been that way. But the big changes in NASCAR since we come along 1949, 1950 when it started is the technology. And so almost like space capsules now, they get in them. And they're not 100% safe. Nothing ever will be, but they're 50% safer than it was when I drove.
And they're faster than ever now.
Oh yeah, they keep picking that speed up, and every once in a while we just got to go in and slow them down so that they don't go so fast.
Like I told you before, I love that hat, man.
You're looking good. You're stay out of the wind, okay? See you guys.
King of the road.
That was this week's Honky Tonk Texas Fabulous Flashback. Check out Zane Williams and Mark Powell on this week's Jim King of the TV show, airing several more times. Well, let's say 5 to be precise, on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and of course YouTube. King's Country at kingscountry.net. Well, apparently the CMA award nominations are out. And you know who got stiffed? Beyonce. She made a big splash in country music this year, but got stiffed by the CMA. Luke Bryan was asked by Andy Cohen what his thoughts were on Beyonce getting shut out of the CMA Awards. Listen to what he had to say.
Listen, I'm all for everybody coming in and making country albums and all that. Just because she made one, I don't need, just because I make one, I don't get any nominations. Sometimes you don't get nominated. Sometimes everybody loved that Beyonce made a country album.
Yeah.
Nobody's mad about it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to make country albums, come into our world and be country with us a little bit.
King's Country at kingscountry.net with Toby Keith, big old truck. He's going to be missed for sure. Already is, the late great one. And don't miss Ricky Van Shelton coming up. Her Majesty Miranda Lambert for your dining and dancing pleasure as we cruise through the 1 o'clock hour of the Jim King of the Radio Show. Here comes Keith Eben, y'all. King's Country at kingscountry.net. I guess that about does all the damage I can for a TGIF edition. Join me next week. And don't miss the show, the TV version, airing 5 more times in Southeast Texas this weekend, all the way through Monday. Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and, of course, you can go to YouTube anytime and watch all the content. And you know what to do now. Keep between the ditches. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you again next week. Later, Gators.
I'm the king of the road, baby. I am the king of the jungle.